to be changed. You ever order a 10-piece order of wings and get 11? That's what it feels like right now. It's amazing.
Case, what's going on, man? How you been?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too much, man. Busy day for you, I see.
Yeah, back on it, man. Wednesday night, Wednesday, we're putting out lights, and then Sunday we're out here putting out fires.
Wow. So getting into these last couple of weeks, getting off the fight, it's got to be a crazy couple of weeks for you. Talk to me a little bit about how crazy the last few weeks have been for you.
They've been nonstop, man. It's been balls to the wall since I got the call. Got the call May 1st, had to leave. Had to be there like the 7th, I think it was, or the 8th. So I had like 6 days to get ready for the fight, really, while working here at the station. You know, we work 24 hours on, 48 off, some full-time firefighter. And on my days off too, I work with my young athletes. I do my sports performance with them. And so we were just balls to the wall, working, training my kids, trying to do all these medicals that were required by the UFC. You know, my eye exam, my physical, my blood work, all that. Sign the contracts. You know, do the USADA thing all over again. So it's just been nonstop, man. I was balls to the wall every day from like 7 a.m. till I went to bed at night till like 10. So
Wow.
Go.
Yeah. I assume it's a crazy experience, and I want to get into talking to you a little bit about that experience fighting in an empty arena first. But first of all, I want to talk to you about how it felt to be called out in the first fight of the night by Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira. Have you heard of him? What do you think about that call out?
Oh yeah, I hadn't heard him. Some people kept saying something about how I got called out that night or whatever, but haven't paid much attention to it. Let my managers kind of deal with that. I've been telling people, you know, we'll do some film on it, see what happens there. I've been telling a lot of people that I'm kind of taking a different approach this time around versus last time. Really want to invest some time in myself as far as getting better as an athlete, because the first time around, all I was doing was chasing the money and trying to be a company man and taking fights that I shouldn't have been taking on such short notice. I mean, I had 7 fights the first go around in the UFC within 2 years, and every single one of them was on short notice except for one against Walt Harris. This time around, we got a new manager, and gonna play it smart and take the fights that I need to take, build my name, build my reputation, and just kind of go from there.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about like how it's been going through, obviously like the walkthrough of going through getting to the fight. Like it's been a crazy experience, coronavirus and all that. How has the buildup been different for you compared to other fights in the UFC?
Well, I just didn't have much time to even think about it or let it settle. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
I had, like I said, 6 days. So all I really could do is focus on the physical instead of the mental. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, once I got there, I told myself I was taking a different approach to the game mentally this time as well. You may have heard me speak about it on some of my other interviews. The first go round in the UFC, I just put so much, immense amount of pressure on myself mentally to just go out there and chase wins, but I wasn't even enjoying it. You know what I mean? I was just so terrified of losing that, on fight week and stuff, I wasn't eating because of my nerves. I was staying in the room the whole time. I wasn't getting out and exploring all these different, cities and countries that I was getting to go to, and really just taking it all in. And I wasn't having fun. And that's why I got into this, was to compete and have fun. And so this time around, man, I literally just decided, hey, I'm going to go out there and perform at my best ability and have fun, not think about shit, and just let the cards fall where they fall. And if I lose, you know what, and they cut me, I'm in the same boat I was in before. So
Yeah.
it can't get any worse than what it was like after the first time I got released.
Yeah. So it's like obviously you're happy to be back in the UFC. You looked amazing your first fight back, and I want to get into talking about that. But at first, I want to talk to you about getting back into the UFC. Do you view that as like the top of the line? Like, doesn't matter what organization you're in, or are you happy to be right back in the UFC?
Yeah, for sure. It is the top. I mean, what else is there? You know, back in I think it was February. I think PFL told my managers they wanted to sign me to the new upcoming season, and that was an option. You know, they're going to kind of take it off. But we still went to the bargaining table with Mick Maynard and the UFC and was like, hey, look, you know, PFL offered Sherman a contract for this upcoming season, but he really wants to go back with y'all. You know, it's got, you know, if you don't want him, then we'll go ahead and sign with Professional Fighters League. But that fell through too, so I didn't really know what was going to happen from there. And you know, PFL is paying a lot of fucking money, like a lot of money compared to, you know, where we're at now. I talked to some guys over there that are in the tournament, and you know they're walking away with like $200,000 a night. You know, for the semifinals and quarterfinals, where they fight twice in one night. You know, and you know, not near as stiff of a competition. So, it really wasn't the money for me. It's just about the legacy. You know, so we're going to get back into the UFC.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
So and he started off great. People looking at your first fight there. I think one thing that I look at for your first fight, and it's been known throughout your career, you've stopped people with leg kicks, but the leg kicks in your fight was off the chain, man. You did a great job with the leg kicks, and how important is that for you to utilize that aspect of your game?
It was crucial, man. I just don't think, you know, my coaches keep telling me that I have, you know, some of the best leg kicks in the UFC, if not the best, the most powerful. And we utilized them well before we got in there. It was just kind of something I picked up really quick, and I don't know how, I don't know. I was just always like, you know, I don't know if I have the best, you know. I just don't think people utilize them enough. And I think you're going to start seeing that a lot more.
Yeah.
Especially that low calf kick. It's really hard to defend. And the muscles and the bones are just not as dense in that area, so it's easier to break them. You know, but right before this fight, I broke two guys' fibulas in the first round. So, you know, people that I fight, they know that it's coming. You just got to stop it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I've been like, I think seven fights I finished people with leg kicks, you know. So.
Yeah. No, it's been something that's been shown throughout your career. And another thing that's crazy about your career that's similar to the current champion right now, Stipe Miocic. You're a firefighter as well as being a fighter. How crazy is that? Like we were talking about it even in the DMs. How crazy is that to balance those two?
I'm sorry, man. I hit a wrong button. Can you say that again?
Yeah. So I was just saying about how balancing being a UFC fighter and being a firefighter, because like. It's like obviously crazy two things to balance out. How is that for you?
Well, I just you know, the whole time I've been a firefighter, I wasn't in the UFC, so it just kind of started. But you know, being a fighter in general, it was kind of when I first started here, like, you know, a year ago. Actually, I'll make a year exactly in May 20th. I'll be off my probationary period. I'll officially be a firefighter 1 instead of a recruit. I haven't, you know, I was really kind of worried about whether or not they would accept that. A lot of the guys around here, and you know, because when I was getting hired on, a lot of them were like, you know, we can't have you going out there and getting hurt. You can't be coming back to work with black eyes. You know, fire department's just like the police department. We uphold an image, you know, throughout the community, as far as the things we say and the way we present ourselves. You know, clean shave. You know, always have banners, being humble. So they were like, you know, pretty much like, like when I was getting hired, them, you're not gonna be able to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, we'll see. But really, once I got in, got done with the academy and stuff, everybody's been pretty accepting, man. Everybody's been on board. I mean, all these guys, man, have been just so supportive. You know, it's a brotherhood around here, and like, you know, if one of us eat, we're all going to eat. So when I win, everybody wins. When I lose, everybody loses. You know, because these guys are invested in me too, emotionally, because I lived with these guys a third of my life. You know what I mean? And they invest obviously physically. We're out here whenever I have to train for my fights. They're out here helping me bust my ass, and they're doing it with me. You know, so all kudos to them too. So and it gives me a little bit extra motivation too, man, because I want to, you know, make these guys proud and the department proud, and I don't want to get fucking ragged on when I go back to work about getting my ass beat. So
Yeah. Well, man, I know you're a busy man. Obviously, balancing those two out, it can't be easy. I got 2 more questions for you, and then we'll let you get going. But first question is with how active are you looking to be? We don't know when coronavirus is going to go away. So does that make a difference for you, or are you just looking to be as active as you plan to be?
yeah, we'll always be active, man, but we're looking for the right matchups. You know what I'm saying? If we want to get, you know, a tougher matchup or something like that, just give me time to you know, a full camp or so to develop my skills that I need to develop. I'm an athlete. I'm a quick learner. So just, you know what I mean? I mean, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Camera's just glitching out here. Yeah, there we go. We're good.
I'm an athlete. I'm a quick learner. You know, I got into the UFC after only training for about 4 or 5 years in MMA in general. So just give me, you know, at least a couple months. At least give me a full camp. You know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna go with some of these tougher fights, you know, you see what I did on six days notice. So that's the first time I put my hands on anybody in probably a month and a half, because the gyms have all been closed. You know, I didn't get to do any sparring for that fight at all. You know, no live training, because everybody's, you know, pretty much locked down, and I live in a small area anyways, and there's not a whole lot of professional fighters, much less professional heavyweights around here. So and it was on such short notice, I couldn't line anything up with everything else I had going on. So you know, but like I said, I'm a fast learner, but I developed quickly. I feel like I'm one of the better athletes in the heavyweight division. So just, if people can be, you know, if some of the matchmaking should be a little patient with me, and I feel like I could be a championship caliber fighter within a couple of years. You know, a top 15 guy within a year easily.
So ending this off, like I said, we'll let you go. So I'm looking to have one quick line for you to advertise yourself. What can people expect to see for Chase Sherman in the UFC?
Oh man, just action.
Yeah.
Action, man, and just you know, just raw. I'm just a raw person. I'm real. You know what I mean? Like, so you get what you get with me. I'm not putting on no persona. I am who I am. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. You know, I'm going to sleep just as fine. At the end of the night, I'm kind of I'm really passive aggressive, smart ass sometimes. You know, so people don't know how to take that, but yeah. So that's me.
Excited to see it. Thanks so much for joining, Chase Sherman. It was an honor interviewing you, bro.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care, man.